at is the idea that rules actually matter, and it's easy, in life to get to a point where we really get that love is the primary thing, and sometimes that can lead to this bit where we actually lose track of the importance of the rules. That the rules are there to help us be loving. The rules are there to catch us when we fall. The rules are there to redirect us. And the story we're looking at today that deals with that is this story of Abraham. And what Abraham's story is, it's this ancient story, and we're now at this part of it where he's kind of got a sense of the promise. He starts moving on, and then of course this darkness besets him, which I think many of us can identify with. We have that happen. That's part of our lives. Sort of a darkness starts to fill our lives at times, and it's easy. It's easy at those times to lose track of things, and this is a time where it might be important to remember just the simple importance of structure and rules. And I want to share with you a bit out of the book Secrets of Heaven, and how God kind of works with us when these times come up. When the bonds of our conscience loosen, the Lord has no means of influencing us, because he acts on us by flowing through charity or through love or through service, use any of those words, into our conscience. A new means does develop to take its place, but it's an external one. Fear of law and fear for our life, status, money, and consequence, prestige. These are not matters of conscience, but only superficial restraints. And there is something to that. Like, if we can't find it in here, we're not always going to be able to find it. Like, there will just be dark times. And when there's dark times, oftentimes God can help us out simply by getting us to remember the rules. And some of those rules, folks, are more private and some are more public. A private one might be this, somebody who's struggling with depression. It might be a rule that, hey, every morning I'm going to get up by 9 o'clock and get out on a walk. That's a rule per se. And even though there's not the motivation, there's not the hard part to it, it's a rule. It's an edge. It's something that's going to help us to move through a dark period of time. And there's also parts that help us move through part-time that are more like of the public variety. Like, look, I'm just going to go do this because I know that I have to, and I know it wouldn't appear right for other people, wouldn't appear well to other people if I wasn't at this event or I wasn't doing this thing. So I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to make myself do it. There is nothing wrong with that phrase, make myself do it. And I know we live in a culture that any sort of hint to that there's obligation, and sometimes it's obligations that we don't want to do but that we know we have to do. We can hold back on that and be like, whoa, you sure? Just make sure it's something you really want to do. And I got to throw a flag on that one. Sometimes in life we just have to lean into the rules, that there's just things we have to get done. Let's lean into them. Let's get them done. Let's know that the rules are there for a purpose. One of my favorite quotes is one from the old Miami Dolphins football coach, Don Shula. And he said, a river without banks is a puddle. And I think that's such a beautiful way to hold rules in our lives, that we have this flow of God, this flow of life that's moving through. And the fact is we need edges on it because that helps us to keep directed. And that's a beautiful way to see the rules. Not there as a dam to stop the waters flowing, but as a way to channel it. That's what rules are there for, is to help us channel it forward. Now, sometimes those are just immediate goods. They can be concerns, as it says, about our life, our status, our money, our prestige. And, I think God uses any tool he can to help us to get to that place where the river can flow more and more effectively as we grow in years in our lives. So, friends, I hope that makes a ton of sense. And may you have a day guided by that kind of perspective, that sometimes you just need to lean on the rules. And what we're going to do now is we're going to take a little breath, and we're going to think through, Nadesh, you'd like to think as we do this, just, what's just an obligation you just know you've got to get done today. You may not want to do it, but just like get it done as soon as we're done this, just get the obligation out of the way so that it's done. Think of it as a rule. If you need to think that, yep, your pastor made you do it, you certainly can do that. And what we're going to do is just sort of like ease into a little meditation here. So with that, dear friends, let's get a little breath. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I. Be still and know that. Be still and know. Be still and. Be still. Be. Our Father, who art in the heavens, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, as in heaven, so upon the earth. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we also forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May the Lord lift up his countenance upon you, bring you peace, and bring you home. Amen. Take care, dear friends. Wishing you all the best in the day ahead. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Like our content? It's funded by viewers like you. Please consider becoming